Hello, welcome to my channel. I really need to get a bigger monitor. This little viewfinder is just not cutting it anymore. So I'm just gonna do a face with y'all today. And this is really like my go-to look lately as far as eyes and bronzer. But I thought, well, why don't I just gather up some stuff that I maybe not necessarily new to me, but that I have not used on camera. So that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm gonna do. Done my brows, prime my eyes, put my corrector on. Let's start with foundation. This was sent to me, wow, way back in February. Where's the year going? Honestly, I want 2020 to be over. I don't want to wish my life away, but this year, not the best. This is from Sia Cosmetics. I think that's how you pronounce it, S-I-I-A. And this is their Luminous Longwear Liquid Foundation. I think I mentioned this without showing it in another video about how much I like it, but this stuff is heavily fragranced. Heavily. If you are against that, you're not going to want this. I personally don't like that, so I don't wear this as often as I would like to if it were not heavily fragranced. But I wanted to show it to you anyways, show you how pretty it was, because I also know that I have viewers who could care less about fragrance. So let's try this out. This is the color C104 Cappuccino. So that's the color right there. It's pretty neutral. Doesn't have hardly any warm tones to it at all. I'm using a discontinued Sephora brush. Apparently they have brought it out like in a new, they have like a new pro brush collection, but apparently this brush within it is really awful. Now I haven't tried it, so I can't say for sure, but that's what I'm hearing. Peeling a little bit around my nose. So I've been using the Curology Retin-A, the prescription strength Retin-A. I mean, I love it. It's fine. And then every once in a while, I'll skip a night of that and do the SkinMedica Retinol, the 0.25, mind you. And I peel every time I use that. I feel like, at least from the physical results I see, because I do understand that retinol and Retin-A, you aren't going to always see physical results. But from the ones that I see automatically, that SkinMedica is stronger on my skin. But isn't that pretty? And I didn't use the full 2 pumps. Probably because I put that bronzer, the Tarte bronzer on my neck today. Hopefully it's not patchy. I'm all over the place already. I'm not even 5 minutes in the video. For concealer, they also sent me their Ultimate Fit Concealer. This is way too light for me. Okay, let me rephrase. It's not too light, but it's a little too bright. I'm not a huge fan of bright under eyes. So I'm going to mix it with a little bit of a darker concealer, and this is the Chanel Le Correcteur de Chanel in 30 Beige. So I'm just going to use those two for concealer. Put a couple dots of the Chanel and a couple, but see how much brighter that is, of the Sia. I mean, I like how the Sia performs. It's not the highest coverage concealer that I've ever used, but it's good on like creasing and stuff. It's just a little bright, the color. I don't really, okay, I say I don't notice a fragrance. Let me actually smell the concealer out of the tube here in a second. Yeah, I think maybe that's fragrance too. I just don't understand. Like skincare, I know some people will argue some skincare can smell so disgusting on its own and they need the fragrance added to it. I mean, makeup doesn't have to smell disgusting on its own, so I don't really understand adding perfume to makeup, but again, these companies don't call and ask me, so, you know, what are you gonna do? I had to shut that window some because the sun was just so bright. I'm going to be using 2 of the newer Charlotte Tilbury palettes. Now, I know everybody and their mama has done videos on this. That's why I didn't want to do one that was solely based on the Charlotte Tilbury products by themselves. But I did want to show them because I've been getting questions on them. This is very similar to the look that I had on in one of my recent videos. But this is the Desert Haze palette. These colors upon first look like colors you probably have in your collection 10 times over if you have any semblance or fraction of a collection that I do. And even when it first came like online and we started seeing pictures of it, kind of like teasers, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to get that. Why do I need this really expensive quad when I have all of these colors? And then I was able to get it in a bundle, and I was able to put my pro discount on top of it with the bronzer, and I was like, well, I'll go ahead and try it. I am so glad I tried it. These are unlike any matte shadow I have tried. In fact, I don't think they're much like the formula of her large palettes that I love so much, because I do love that formula, but I feel like these are even smoother than those shadows. There is something about the texture and the blendability of these shadows that is unparalleled in my opinion. Now, do I think it's unparalleled enough to where you will just be remiss if you don't buy this eyeshadow palette? Absolutely not. If you have these colors and you don't have the need to buy an expensive eyeshadow palette, don't do it. If you love these colors, maybe have them, but also love Charlotte Tilbury, you want to try it, I put my stamp of approval on it. That's all I'm saying. It's so nice. So I'm going to go in with this, and this is a prototype brush that they sent me, and I hope that it's available now, but it's the Refer 15 brush, and I love this brush. I know it just looks like a crease brush, but I really, really like it. So I'm going to go into this like terracotta color, kind of orangey. I don't want to say orange, more terracotta. There is a little bit of kick up on it that happens with soft shadows. I don't find that there is a lot of fallout. So I'm just going to work this into my crease. But I mean, you can see how pigmented it is. And then it's almost, I mean, you have playtime with it after you lay it down. And there's some matte shadows that you just don't have that with. Like you can lay it down, and if it's patchy, well, too bad. You laid it down. There's nothing you can do about it. But this, there is playtime. And you can just keep blending till your heart's content, and it will keep working with you. I just love the shape of this brush. It's not too big and fluffy, but it's not too small where it kind of gets lost in my crease either. Oh, I just love that color so much. Now I'm going to go into the not as new, but still new Copper Charge palette. And I got this because, I mean, coppers are just my favorite. Coppers and golds. I have blue eyes. They tend to make blue eyes pop the most. Now, this color down here in the right, I know these are so shiny, it's hard to see. The matte color in the Copper Charge is very similar to the matte color in the same position in the Desert Haze. These three shimmer colors are so worth it to me. I'm going to start with a flat brush, and I'm going to use the Enhance shade, which is right here, which is the actual copper shade in the palette. The other two are variants of gold. I'm going to lay this down on my lid. Now I'm going to start with a brush because I want to show you that while that applied some color, it does nothing like a finger application does for these shadows. However, they're not like her topper shadows. They're not that kind of texture and formula. They're much more opaque than that. But I still feel like they apply best with a finger, if you can see how well that went on. I have also used this palette with the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick underneath this shadow in the shade Copper, and it's oh so pretty. But I wanted to show you how these performed on their own. So it almost blends in with that crease color and just looks like a gradient of the same color with different textures. You can obviously keep it like this. I'm going to take my pinky and go into this light gold color right here and just put a tad bit of that like in the center of the lid just to make it pop a little bit. And it gives some dimension to that copper color as well. And then I'm going to take a real skinny crease brush. This is the Morphe M514, I think. Really, really skinny. And I'm going to go into this color in the Desert Haze, the one that's similar to the Copper Charge. And I just want to put a little bit of that on the outside. Very little pressure, very small brush. It's one of those shadows you may not even see, but it's doing its job. So now I'm going to go back underneath the eyes, get out any creases, and set with the Pat McGrath powder. And I have edited some videos lately where I'm like, holy cow, my dark circles are just out to play. Like, They're there. They're not going away. Okay, let's set the base. I bought this powder when I bought the Alima Pure Satin Foundation that I love so much. Y'all know. This is the Satin Finishing Powder, and it's the color Hanae, Hanae. And I've used it once since I've gotten it because honestly I can't stop using the powder foundation. But that's kind of the color. And I'm just going to use the BK Beauty 102 brush to lightly set my face. And honestly, after trying this and the powder foundation, I want to try everything from Alima Pure because I'm just really impressed with what I've tried so far. Now, let's talk about the bronzer. I told you I got the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer with the eyeshadow palette as part of a duo. So I will link both of them separate, but then I'll link the duo as well. And I got the color medium, and I know a lot of people are talking about how light these bronzers are. I have not swatched nor seen in person any of the other shades. I have only seen what I've seen on YouTube, and I've tried to steer clear of too many reviews of this because I knew I was going to use it and I wanted to form my own opinion. This is a lighter bronzer than I would expect from a medium, but that does not discredit how much I love it. It's so nice. It is very non-bronzery, if that's even a phrase. It just blends out. This is my Wayne Gossamer 11. So easily onto the skin. And really does earn its name of the airbrush bronzer. Because it doesn't even look like a bronzer. And y'all know how heavy-handed I am with my bronzers. So if I were to go as ham with any other bronzer as I'm going with this one right now, I would look like I had muddy streaks all over my face. But there's just something about this one that just blends into your skin so nicely that I just have not been able to stop wearing it since I got it. I oftentimes have this little line up here by my hairline that will not catch bronzer. So I just take some kind of fluffy eyeshadow brush and I go up there and apply it. And then sometimes it looks like a stripe of bronzer like it does right now. But honestly, we're just going to go with it. This is not a new product to me. It's a new compact to me. The Osmosis Highlighting Quad. Love this so much. I broke my last one, so I repurchased it. I got this from Harbin House. And I just absolutely love this highlighting quad. I take my brush, this is the Anastasia A23, and I will just kind of put it across all the colors. Not as much in this pink up here as the other colors, but it's so pretty on the skin. And even though like it's obvious that my cheeks are bright right there, it's not glittery on the skin. It doesn't like enhance anything. Blends really well. It's just really pretty. And we're gonna like blend that out or buff it out. As always, the blush. Have I shown y'all this blush? I got it in one of my Sephora orders during the BIB sale. And I talked about it in my wants video. And this is the Dior Rouge Blush in the color 459 Charnel. Took the little brush out of it, but that's it. It's just a really pretty neutral, almost bronzy color. Bronzy slash little bit of a warm peachy undertone. It's not that easy to describe, but I like it, and I think the color goes well with this eye look. I'm going to buff with my Hourglass Radiant Light, per usual. For mascara, I'm going to use the Tarte Maracuja Miracle Mist. And I know that looks like a lot, but my fan is on, so only half of that actually touched my face. I am going to use this orangey color underneath my eyes. This is when I feel like the blue eyes really start to pop. When you finish out the look underneath the eyes, I feel like the color just comes out. Oh my goodness, those eyes. Love a good copper smoky eye. There's just nothing better than mascara. I say it every time I come back on camera after I put my mascara on, but truly it just transforms the look. Okay, couple new lip products that were sent to me. This is from a brand called Mellow Cosmetics, and I wasn't very aware of them before they sent these to me. I believe they're an Australian brand, but I got sent a lipstick and a lip gloss as part of the package, so I'm going to use both. And this is called the Posh Matte Lipstick. I have tried the lip gloss, but I have not tried the lipstick. So that's the color of the lipstick. And it does have Mellow imprinted on the bullet, which I hate to mess things up like that. Well, that kind of glides on. Oh, that went on super smooth. So that's the color Posh. I got really wrinkly lips. We know this, so I've got to put on some kind of gloss. This is in the color Palm Springs. Liquid lip gloss. I put this on yesterday by itself, and it stayed for a very long time. And it's pretty opaque, so I hope it doesn't take away that other color too much. Isn't that pretty? I feel like it took away some of the lipstick color. So let me swatch both for you. So one's pretty peachy, and one is more of a neutral pink color. So that's the lip gloss in Palm Springs, and that is the matte lipstick in Posh. Again, the lipstick lasts forever, and that lipstick felt very, very smooth going on. For a matte lipstick, sometimes they can feel like they're tugging on the lips. That one did not. So that is the finished look of a compilation of look I've been doing lately, meaning the bronzer and the eyes. I've really been liking these two looks, and then the rest of the stuff is just stuff I wanted to show y'all. So hopefully you enjoyed. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I hope you are all staying safe and healthy and sane, and most of all that you go out and have a very blessed day.